It's time for Real Talk with Brian and Dan, the weekly talk radio show dedicated to discussing important real estate topics, plus insight into the local community. With a combined experience of over 50 years as local real estate brokers from the East Side Real Estate Team at Keller Williams Realty Bellevue. Here's your hosts, Brian Levitt and Dan Edwards.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Real Talk with Brian and Dan on 1150 KKNW. It is Wednesday, April 22nd, and we are so glad you're joining us today. Our live stream isn't working on Facebook, but you can go right over to YouTube and look for the 1150 KKNW YouTube channel, and you'll see our smiley faces. We appreciate you watching today. We hope that you enjoy the guests that we have and the content that we have. If you're interested in listening to past episodes, you can find us anywhere. You can subscribe to podcasts, both Google Podcasts and Apple Podcasts. Additionally, we have all broadcasts available on our website, www.eastsiderealestateteam.com/blog. If you go there, you're going to find complete shows. You'll find all the segments. You can search through the segments for any tips that you're looking for if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. We have a fantastic show again for you today. I know we have some really excellent guests that you're going to enjoy. First off, we have our mortgage moment with Michael Burdick. He'll be joining us today. Also, we will have Doug Peterson with Get Priorities Straight. He's been with us a couple of times. And then Janice Bailey with Metamorphosis Coaching. But before we get to our guests, let's start with some Real Talk. And we've got a great Real Talk segment here today, Brian. I want to share with the listeners kind of a perception that's out there today, many with regards to home prices because of this pandemic right now. Home buyers want lower prices. Sellers are disagreeing. And it's funny because there's so much uncertainty, right? The pandemic's causing a lot of things to change. How we interact, how we do business, how we buy and sell real estate. And we'll talk about that here in a second. But what is really happening is buyers are searching for a better deal. Brian, I've talked to quite a few over the last week, and the whole idea is I think I might be able to find a deal, but sellers are not offering discounts. They're holding steady. What do you?
And they don't need to. I mean, the market just hasn't declined for us. I think one of the things that we're seeing is a little less what I call market exuberance with sellers, where they're being realistic in their pricing, but we're not seeing a drop. According to the most recent National Association of Realtors survey, a survey of real estate brokers from across the country, brokers were asked the following two questions. One, have any of your sellers recently reduced their price to attract buyers? Their answer, 72% said their sellers have not lowered prices to attract buyers during the crisis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting because we have several, both buyers and sellers. And Brian, what have you advised your sellers?
To be patient. I think before this started, when I had a well-priced listing, I'd get 9 or 10 offers. Now I'm getting 3 or 4. But remember, all it takes is one. And, we're getting some people that are on, what we like to call fishing expeditions, looking to lowball. Those aren't getting accepted. Not that there aren't deals out there, but there's always deals out there. And representing a buyer, this is nothing new for a buyer to want a deal. We all do. Yeah. But sellers just need to be a little more patient in this market.
So I think that the important marker is kind of going through the psychology of what a seller is doing and going through the psychology of what a buyer is doing. And I think a good agent can help a buyer understand where a seller's coming from and a seller understand where a buyer's coming from, and just try and diffuse a situation that can be emotional. So, and how we do that is through facts, right? So let's look at the facts. Is in the last 7 days, we talked about this, I think last couple of weeks, but this is your current weekly report then. In the last 7 days, a total of 278 homes have been listed or brought back on the market on the east side. And then if you take all the homes that have been removed from the market, so by removed, we're talking about they go into contract, they expire, they go pending, or they go canceled. So if you combine all of those on the east side, it's a total of negative 46 homes in the last 7 days. So the inventory has contracted in the last 7 days by 46 homes. So that doesn't really speak to sellers being allowed, or excuse me, buyers being allowed to get a deal, because there's actually literally less homes than there were 7 days ago on the market.
Yeah, supply and demand. The demand is still exceeding the supply.
That's right. So what, how do we guide people, Brian?
I think, again, telling people to be patient. It is taking a little bit longer to do showings because of social distancing requirements. So just being patient. I think the big question is, when do we think this will be over? Nobody knows. I think once we get the virus under control, once there's a vaccine, it'll be completely over. But until then, I'm just counseling my people to be patient. For buyers, it's a great time to buy because rates are low. Even though inventory is low, there are still great houses to be purchased. And on sellers, just tell them to be patient. We're getting great prices. It's just taking a little bit longer to do it.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the tools that we're using to help both buyers and sellers find success. So we have set up a complete buyer's presentation and an interview to where if somebody is interested in buying, you guys can reach out to the Eastside Real Estate team, and we will walk you through the entire buying process on a meeting like what we're doing here, where we're talking through, answering questions, and really a show and tell, talking about the numbers. And most importantly, we're utilizing the technology to allow buyers access to homes without them having to go out and look at the home. So we can go in, do video tours. Some listing agents, which are tools that we're using, are able to do 3D tours, do video walkthroughs that are very helpful. But sometimes, I think almost 100% of the time, somebody has to go through it. So we can actually do private tours, two people at a time in the home. But we're being much more methodical about the process. We don't have to go look at hundreds of homes. You don't have to spend your Saturdays and your Sunday afternoons touring with the masses. You can basically narrow down your search, put us to work, right? Send us to the homes to do the walkthroughs, to check things out, and then decide on the ones that are most going to match your needs. Yep. That's how we're leveraging technology right now.
Dan, I think this is going to change the way we do business going forward, because we're getting used to new technologies that we didn't really have to rely on before. But example, right now, I can do tours with the buyer by sharing my screen and walking them through a listing, looking at the data, looking at the photos, sharing with them my trained eye as to what to look for in these homes, which is exactly what I do when I show a home in real time, or this is real time, but in person. So we're leveraging the technologies that we've had. We're just becoming much more accustomed to using them, and it's great. It really is a terrific tool.
So the bottom line is this: if you're a buyer in today's market, you're probably not going to see sellers lowering their prices quickly. And if you're a seller and you don't want to lower your price, well, you're not alone. If you have any questions about pricing your home or helping negotiate the best possible price, please reach out to the Eastside Real Estate team. You can find us on our website, theeastsiderealestateteam.com, or you can call us at 425-200-4093. All right, that concludes our Real Talk segment. And if you're interested in this topic or any other topics, you'll find them on our website under the blog section. Just look for real estate tips. And we'd be happy to take your calls and answer any of your questions that go a little bit deeper. But coming up after the break, we're going to be speaking with our lender for our Mortgage Moment segment. After this commercial break, it will be Michael Burdick. So come right back after this short break.